So welcome back to another episode of Tu Bian X. So in the previous one, we had some cool stuff happening with finding out how much agency the label has over the characters, or the heroes, which makes sense. I was thinking about the power system a lot during, like, in between the episodes. So it makes sense, right? Because the entire power of a hero comes from people's perception, not necessarily from how strong the hero itself is, right? So you can power up by people's perception of you changing, or people's perception of you increasing or bettering or worsening even, or just changing. We saw powers changing by people's perception of you changing, right? So it's fully up to your image to determine how powerful you are, what kind of power you're gonna have. So it makes sense that everything is gonna end up being kind of scripted, right? Because by using a script, by scripting a certain image for a hero, you can fully manipulate what kind of power and how much power a certain hero is gonna have, at least to some extent. I'm sure, like, obviously training and stuff like that is gonna play a part. We saw Lin Ling training, like, and trying out new moves and stuff like that, so he had to actually work for him to get to the point where he is. But it's really interesting, right, the way that they use people's perception of heroes to kind of scope their power and stuff like that, right? It's awesome. Also, anyways, in the previous episode we saw Moon figuring out that Lin Ling is not actually nice, and they kind of hit it off, you know. They got a lot closer than Nice and Lin Ling ever did, and that Nice and Moon ever did, the actual Nice, the previous Nice. And yeah, they hit it off, and then they had a kind of like a wedding ceremony where they were planning on letting Moon die, but it was a fake death where she would fake her death and then she could leave Nice, because obviously her power, because of people's perception, was tied to Nice, and she didn't want that. She wanted her freedom. So it kind of worked out. It wasn't a perfect script. The actual antagonist, the nemesis, was a childhood friend, or I guess a best friend. I don't know if childhood friend, but a best friend of Nice. And yeah, when he figured out that this is not Nice, but Lin Ling, he went a bit off script and stuff. But in the end, the final result was kind of successful for Lin Ling and Moon, and it ended up working. But there were still so many things that we don't know, that I don't know about, especially the entire cliffhanger at the end of episode 1. We still don't know about that. I was thinking about more stuff. I have like a wacky theory that I don't think is correct, because it's also, it's ambitious to call it a theory. It's not fully fleshed out whatsoever. But I was thinking, what if it's something to do with like some kind of like cyclical nature? I was thinking, what if there's like some kind of time travel involved, where Nice has been Lin Ling this whole time, but then that was Lin Ling from, like, I don't know. If anyone knows what I'm saying, it probably sounds like crazy talk, but I was thinking, what if the previous Nice was also Lin Ling, but then there was like just one version of Lin Ling, and then the dream that Lin Ling had was from Nice, from his previous self, like in one of the other versions that led him to jump off. That's so convoluted, and I think it's so wrong, and there's so many plot holes in this that I just don't think it's right. But it's just some kind of thought experiment that I had. But it's probably completely wrong. I just wanted to throw it out there, you know, a Hail Mary. Anyways, yeah, I've been yapping for long enough. Let's just go. Oh, if you know what, just Uncut and Blood is always on my Patreon in the description. Let's go into Tu Bian X, episode 3. Oh, we also had an ending with the spotlight. Ooh. Ooh, that transition was sick. The ever-sending hero. Oh,
你走神了？没有。我们刚刚聊到哪儿啊？你说内部得到消息，找到了英雄不倒的宿敌在哪儿。然后呢？需要我去。既然那么想他，那当时怎么不跟他一起走呢？既然你做的选择，那就要做到最好，否则你所有的放弃都是不值得的。所以，想明白到底要去做什么了吗？需要我去击败不倒的宿敌古狼？不，是超越英雄不倒，跻身前10。古狼只是我们达成目的的 的跳板。
Who is Furman? Yes, thank you. Ooh. Year 34 after commission. Makes sense.
果断辞职，联系并帮助他，成为了屹立不倒的英雄。而紧接着，干掉魂殿的宿敌魔影，则是他成为英雄排名第10的跳板。
市中心遭受火影袭击，造成多人伤亡，魂殿正在对其进行抓捕。联合会急调英雄前去救援，但没有人能跟得上他们的速度。喂，刚才对了信号不好，你说支援谁？ 这个世界上没人追得上我。
Splatter.
不好意思啊，能不能再给我打杯可乐？
进入前世之后，他被赋予了更重要的使命。
I mean, he's kind of cool though.
成为角斗世界最重岩石的支点。
Whoa, world's biggest boulder.
打造了一尊他的雕像，并且树立在英雄大道的起点，象征着英雄们的意志。
每个时代，无论何时何地何人，都向往一个公平的世界。
36.
而维系平衡往往需要承载更多的责任和牺牲，所以这座雕像将成为英雄们的集体宣言。为了守护世界，绝不能倒下。我们今天还请到了一位特殊嘉宾。
It's the same girl. I mean, his PR team is working overtime.
之后也成了英雄不倒的标志之一。
Furman, ranking number 10.
我们同属一家，这样不太好吧？
Oh, rank 15, okay.
英雄不倒为什么不自己去抓古狼？
第一，英雄有很多，但问鼎 X 的却只有一个，没什么好客气的。第二，之所以古狼会成为英雄不倒的麻烦，当然是有原因的。这就是内部线报里面透露的古狼巢穴的入口。
原来如此。
Ah, he can't get in.
因为英雄不倒受信赖值影响，虽然能屹立不倒，但反过来他也很难弯腰，更别说爬行了。
I see, so that's why he couldn't bend over more earlier.
并且通往巢穴的入口错综复杂，遍布了整个城市。我们找到的可能只是其中的一个入口，所以说不定其他英雄已经收到了情报，并且有所行动。
那为什么不等他出来犯事的时候，将他一网打尽？
如果他只是那种到处搞破坏的莽夫，也配不上宿敌这个称号。你知道什么比动用武力更具破坏性的吗？
魔力。
是想象力。在人们心中植入一个念头，然后不断培育它，它就会像
So
树芽一般。
that was the person who was making all the bombs earlier, I see.
就形成了固有的思维，编织一个童话，一个歪曲英雄不倒形象的童话。这就是古狼在人们心中种下的那颗邪恶种子。地下巢穴就是他印发童话故事的源头，童话里的大灰狼也就成了他的化身。从他出现以来，
That's really cool.
不倒都没有跟他正面交手的机会，因为他摧毁的是 英雄不倒在人们心中的形象。
That's awesome.
英雄不倒是联合会的象征，歪曲了它，整个英雄体系也会受到影响。的确要趁早解决。
Here we go.
每个时代，不论何时、何地、何人，都向往一个公平的世界。然而，维系平衡往往需要承载更多的责任和信任。所以，这座雕像也是英雄们的集体宣言：为了守护世界，绝不能倒下。
好了，今天英雄之旅的校外课圆满结束，我们要跟英雄不倒说拜拜喽！拜拜，拜拜，让我们再次感谢英雄不倒。谢谢，谢谢英雄不倒。英雄不倒，我能问你一个问题吗？为什么你的雕像上没有这条红围巾呢
Interesting. Didn't like that question.
谢谢喽。不好意思啊，刚才着急把你拽出来，没想到把裤子给……别说了。对了，赖瑟，你也是来剿灭古狼的吧？对啊，你是？嗨，无名英雄，不提也罢。既然你来了，好像也没我什么事儿了。那我先撤了啊。
That was a. Yeah, I was gonna say that was a very sus exchange. Oh, he's back.
英雄有很多，但能问鼎 X 的却只有一个。怎么样，找到古狼的老巢了吗？
I don't know. I feel like I might be tripping, but you know that theory from the beginning that I had about like some kind of like time shenanigans happening with like time going forward, backward, multiple like nices and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like there might be something there. I could just be overthinking it, but here as well, like he ended up in the same way that he was in when he first found them. I don't know. I might be going crazy, but that's gonna be one of my theories. It could be completely wrong though. It probably is. We'll see. You can laugh at me if it's fully wrong then.
娟姐，快查一下我现在所处的位置。藏匿了那么久，突然这么多英雄得到了同一个情报，可能是。
Yep, it's a trap. Yep.
你所处的位置是英雄大道的起点。
这条围巾是一个当时跟你差不多大的女孩送我的。赶紧离开！
Uh-oh. Oh!
没事了，不用担心。
Oh no!
终于又见面了。
Her design is so cool though.
放开他！为了这一刻，我做足了准备。你想毁掉的人是我，和这个小女孩无关。不，我要毁掉的是她。
The symbol.
我要让这尊象征英雄的雕像彻底倒下。相信你应该明白我的意思了吧？
Uh-oh. trade the symbol for the girl's life?
别指望救援，其他英雄也正忙着。放下雕像，还是放弃这个小女孩？做出选择吧。哪个反派啊？这下手也太狠了！为了维护所谓英雄的脸面，现在连一条活生生的命都可以视而不见了吗？
Nice! He's so cool. He's so cool.
奈斯，快去救那个孩子！他不会杀死那个孩子的。他也并不是冲着这尊雕像来的。
What did you see?
他真正的目的是想让你倒下，更确切的说，是想让你放下，因为她就是那个被你拼死从火场救出，并且
Wow!
送你红围巾的小女孩。为什么会这样？
Wow!
他不是憎恨你，他憎恨的是你现在背负着的东西。这些损害你英雄形象的童话书，其实都是在诉说他心中真正的你。没事的，别担心，我就在这里，不会离开。我们今天还请到了一位特殊嘉宾。对不起啊，我现在弯不下腰。还是我来吧。
Ooh, you can hear the cracking. Ooh. Oh no, that was just the the OST. I lost his back.
就是你画的什么？
英雄不倒。
这是英雄不倒。你们看，他说他画的是英雄不倒。英雄不倒明明是个铁血汉子。
不是的，他其实会哭，会笑，是个温柔的人。
好笑呢！说谎大王，谎话精。
这人就是那个说英雄不倒坏话的人。
听说自称不倒曾经救过自己。
怎么可能？他是出了名的谎话精，你这都能信？就是不倒怎么可能那么软弱呢？
我脑子有病吧？就喜欢玷污英雄不倒。
把消防员叔叔还给我。
Mm.
请问火势这么猛烈的情况下，你是怎么扛着房梁坚持下来的？
我当时心中一直有一个信念，为了那个女孩，说什么都不能倒下。
消防员叔叔，我来帮你，加油！
是你给了我坚持下去的信念和勇气。
Oh man. Is he lifting it? Nice! Clutch! He doesn't need scripts. He's way too good by himself. Nice, nice. Yes. Give him power. Give him trust value. Epic. Wow. Dude, I fucking love this episode. This episode is so cool.
上周在联合会广场，戴斯营救英雄不倒的行动，令其一跃成为了联合会排名第10的英雄，而关于不倒的神话也就此落幕。
英雄塔10层到了。
我以为你后天才来，他们让我昨晚明天搬出去。不，我不是着急想赶你走，和你开玩笑呢。怎么排名越高，反射弧却越长了？好像还是第一次看你笑得那么开心，还不是托你的福。放弃了英雄身份之后，你有什么打算？当然是先舒舒服服的躺上半个月。原来不倒一直渴望倒下，不能倒下是大家的期望。但是我的生活却因此充斥着各种有口难言的尴尬。
He could never stand down.
一只大回了，2只大回了，3只大回了。
Damn.
以前我坚信，
Wow.
这是成为英雄的代价。现在看来，真的太蠢了。其实，我也有相似的困扰，比如越来越吹毛求疵的强迫症，让我感到焦虑。我不该跟你说这些丧气话的。不同时间，不同身份，既然你已经住进这一层了，那肯定是下定决心，做出了选择。我其实……好了，我还约了人吃饭，你自己随便转转，就当熟悉一下新家的环境了。我其实不是奈斯，不管是谁，做自己就好。
Wow. Wow. What a goat.
我其实还不清楚自己到底要什么，只不过我很清楚自己不想要什么。你呢？找到你内心的方向了吗？
No! Fuck! I knew it! I said this! Oh.
为了庆祝奈斯跻身联合会排名前10，我决定揭露一个关于他的真相。萧月清，这不是萧月清吗？
他不是已经死了吗？
这天眼不是真的。大家现在也看到了，萧月清根本没有死。奈斯的一切都是被精心策划的假象，而我将一点一点。
No! Fuck! I fucking knew it! Oh, I even said it at the end of the previous episode. No! Wow. Okay. This was such a fantastic episode. This was such a good one. I absolutely love the way that the hero system is made and the power system works here. Like the way that it shows the weight of being a hero and him, like how he was crumbling under that weight. It was becoming too much. The weight of being a hero was becoming too much for him. He couldn't even bend down because of all of the weight that he was carrying, right? And that being shown both physically and also kind of like talked about metaphorically. And then, you know, this girl just wanting to help him out in a way, even though she was going about it in a very roundabout way. She was trying to get rid of the weight that he's been crumbling under, right? She was the only one who saw that weight that was destroying Furman. That was so awesome. Oh my god, that was so good. That was so good. And obviously, and then even the scene with Lin Ling, like pushing up the statue and being like, so this is the weight of this stone or whatever he said. Oh, that is what I live for. That kind of dialogue, that kind of imagery and metaphors and stuff, that is what I live for. That is so good. I absolutely love that. Oh man, the dialogue in this is so good. I'm so happy that this is actually like apart from the incredible action and it being like a really good action show, it's so well written. At least so far, the dialogue in this is so well written. It is very engaging. I'm so curious to see where this is gonna go, because as I said earlier, I wonder if there is gonna be some time stuff happening. I don't know. You guys also did say that this is kind of like separated into multiple arcs. I'm gonna guess that like different heroes and stuff like that, right? With the arcs, I'm gonna guess that like each arc is gonna be like, you know, introducing each of the heroes, and then all of the stories are gonna end up kind of like overlapping over one another. That's my guess, but I guess we'll see. Obviously, don't answer those questions. That's me thinking out loud, you know. That's just me with my shenanigans here. But also then at the end here, we saw Moon, right? We saw Moon being kidnapped by God Eye, right? I believe his name is now. So I said at the end of the previous episode that I just hope that we're not going to be seeing Moon again in a bad situation, and here she is. I was saying I hope she just never appears again and she manages to live out a happy life for like happily ever after. I mean, I love Moon. I love to see her again, but this is not the direction in which or the position in which I want to see her in, right? It's obviously gonna negatively affect Lin Ling. I wonder if they can manage to somehow salvage this situation, right? This is gonna really test the PR firm, right? Of how much can they get out of this situation? How can they get out of this? How can they put a positive spin on it? Because all that matters is putting a positive spin on this situation in people's minds, right? That's all that matters here. So I am curious to see how that's gonna work. I also love how Lin Ling, just by being himself, he is better at promoting himself than his firm is. They have like this entire plan, this entire scheme, script, everything that of how this is gonna work, and then Lin Ling's like, actually, I'm just gonna be a Giga Chad and I'm just gonna save everyone. And they're like, you know what? Actually, this works 10 times better, actually. So big ups to Lin Ling for being a fucking Chad that he is. I wonder where this is gonna go. I'm so curious to find out like about those mysteries that are still present in the show, right? And also about the story of where it's gonna go with like Moon and stuff. So I'm excited for it, but for now, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!